As you can see, there's some continuity here between the sailor course around our coping on this pool and the area around our fire pit. You're going to see that that will extend around into this sailor course around the pool. Now it's important because we're using large scale product, our Aberdeen slabs. So very difficult to make cuts in and around a free-form pool like this. Also, the Portofino has a very natural texture to it. So getting those Aberdeen units tight in there, difficult. So using this sailor course, integrating it with that area around our fire pit is going to look awesome. Now, when you're laying, in this case, our Villaggio product in a mix of sandalwood and shale gray, we don't want to push them tight up against that coping. The potential exists during freeze-thaw that these units could chip these units, and this is a difficult repair to make. So we're going to gap them off so we have a nice consistent sweep around. That adds a new level of complexity. Now we have a gap here. Our curve is nice and smooth, but what do we do with that gap? Here's your answer. Foam backer rod. Taking this rod, placing it in this seam is going to allow us, now this is not an expansion joint for freeze-thaw. This just saves us some adhesive, in this case a self-leveling sealant. This is what I prefer because of my lack of patience. When I'm putting that in here, I don't have those big clumps. Every time I stop, you have that big clump here. This will self-level itself. Problem is, if I don't have that foam rod in there, it's going to cost me about a tube every 3 or 4 pieces. So the foam rod placed in that joint, the elastomeric sealer, self-leveling caulk in here, that's going to keep the water from the pool as the kids enter and exit the pool, sheeting over the pavement and out into the environment. Now we've got a good free draining setting bed here, so any water entering the bedding layer is going to run off in that direction. But we prefer to keep the water on the surface. It's going to sheet faster out into the environment. A trick of the trade when installing your self-leveling caulk, your sealant, between your coping and your sailor course or field of pavers. We insert your backer rod to make sure you don't lose all this material down into the bed. And as you're installing it, I put in a layer of painter's tape here, so if there's any overflow onto the cap, all I have to do is peel it away.